Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum CSPro users. Welcome to our tutorial on using the ValueSet.randomize function. This function helps shuffle the order of values in a value set object, which can reduce selection bias during interviews. In this tutorial, we will explore how to use the value set object with randomize, including how it handles quotes, labels, and exclude. If you are not familiar with how value set objects work, I have already uploaded a tutorial on array object versus value set object. I recommend watch that first. I will include the link in the description box. Let's begin writing the logic. Once the roster is completed, a list of household members will be generated based on specific criteria. The member must be ever married and between 16 and 18 years old. When you run the application without using the randomize function, the list will appear in a fixed order. Let's run it and see the result. As you can see, the list appears in the same order each time the field is focused. Because I did not use the randomize function, the list shows up in the same order each time. Now add the randomize function before the set value set function. After the do while loop, use the value set named respondent rand, which was declared in the global function section. Put dot and type randomize with the parenthesis. At the end, put the punctuation mark semicolon. Save and run the application. As you can see, the list appears in a different order each time the field is focused. Now I am using the quotes method with the value set named respondent rand. Why I'm using the quotes method? Because I don't want to give the enumerator the freedom to choose the respondent manually. To avoid this bias, I am assigning the code directly. After the set value set function, use the dollar sign for the item name or just type Q9. Then after the equal sign, type respondent ran dot codes in the bracket type 1. What does the value 1 mean here? It means we are selecting the first code from the randomized value set and assign it to the field. This ensures consistent and unbiased selection. Save and run the application. In the previous run, the input box was empty, but now the first value is automatically assigned from the value set. If the value was set to 2 instead, the second PID from the list will be assigned from the value set. Save and run the application. Now the second ID is selected instead of first. Now protect the field to ensure that the enumerator cannot change the value. We will use an if-else statement with the visual value function. On getFocus, if the field is not empty, it will be protected and the code lines will be skipped. But if the field is empty, these lines will execute. The ID that you passed in the parenthesis from the value set will be selected, and the field will be protected at the end. Now it is time to display the labels instead of the codes. To show the respondent stream, we use the labels associated with the value set rather than the codes. And I have already made the necessary changes. First, change the value set property to a string in the global section. Next, go to the dictionary, update the Q9 data type from numeric to alpha, and set the length to 25 or adjust it based on your needs. Set the field property from dropdown to any text box type. Since visual value does not work with the string items, we will use string and quotation marks. On line 20, convert the ID from numeric to string. On line 30, use the keyword labels instead of quotes. The rest of the logic remains the same. Save and run the application. And this time, the respondent's name is displayed instead of the code or PID. Now let's use the exclude keyword with the randomize function. In question 10, I have an option with the value 96, which I don't want to include in the randomized selection. To achieve this, we will apply the exclude feature. Let's walk through the logic. First, run the application without using exclude, just using randomize, and observe where the value 96 appears. Each time question 10 gains focus, the position of 96 changes. There is a possibility that 96 could appear in the first position and be selected, but we don't want that. To prevent this, update the logic by adding exclude and put 96 in the parentheses after randomize. Save and run the application again. You will notice that now 96 stays in place and is never selected. Now, let's exclude another value. Suppose I also want to exclude the fifth value in the list. After the comma, add 5 like this. Save and run the application. Now, both the value 96 and the fifth item will not change their position, and neither will be selected. We have covered how to use the randomize function with codes, labels, and the exclude option. Try it out in your own project and let me know how it goes. I am just sharing what worked well for me, but you have a better approach, I would love to hear it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.